Freaking out there. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is luca-zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcast, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid.
Another Sunday, another show. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and also 104.1 FM. I will go solo this Sunday. That means no guests, no calls. Normally, I record my interviews anyway. But the reason why, because there is so much I'd like to talk. And I don't know, I must tell you. Maybe I am my end. What does it mean? It means that I've been doing this show for 6 years. 6 years, almost to the month, I guess, October. And it has been a great, incredible experience. I'm not sure yet. But I tell you, I start to realize maybe somebody else should take my place. I said everything pretty much I wanted to say. I touch every topic I would like to touch. You can listen to my interviews. You can find them on YouTube, or you can go to lovegunsfreedom.com to my archive audio. The reality is there is so much I can say, so much I can do. This is not my profession. I do this as an act of love, mostly to leave a message to other people out there and for posterity, but mostly for the present, because I would like to leave a message to other people in the present so we can change the future. So the future doesn't look good at all. I'm very concerned, like probably you are. And the point is, you know very well, this show, it is not about entertainment. I don't even call it a show, because in Italian, show means something that entertains you. This is for me like an act of love, as said, but also kind of a duty. And people may say, I'm not into politics. I don't care about that. And that's fine. You're free to do whatever you want. I don't call this politics. I call this the difference between being a free human being or become a complete serf of the globalist. That's what it comes down to. That's why I've been on the air for 6 years. Even I'm a small little voice. I'm nobody. My English sucks. Probably I'm not even be close to be the best to be what I do. This is just my humble help, or at least activism, a form of volunteerism to try to share my knowledge that always is a process of continuous learning experience to other people out there so we can reach critical mass. Hopefully we can wake up America and humanity. Okay, but at the same time, this is the point. There's so much I can do, and sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I feel probably I should just take care of myself, my family. Even if just an hour a week, people say, what is about just an hour? Everybody has their priorities. I tell you, an hour becomes for me 3 hours, and 3 hours, things I would like to do now, for example. But at the same time, I really truly believe that even if just one new person every week, I'm able to reach out or to open your eyes and your ears and your mind to think with your brain. I'm not asking you to follow me in what I'm doing or believe in what I'm saying. I just say, please, listen. Don't believe anybody. Don't believe even myself. But what they're telling you right now, we're living in a surreal reality, in a virtual reality almost, and especially governments. I say governments with the S around the world are used to deceive us, to control us, to enslave us, and at the end, what really scares the hell out of me, to slaughter us. This is the plan of mass depopulation. I've been talking about that since many years. The evidence now is coming out. I talked about that last week, I guess, with the new information about the human genome found in vaccines by the Italian scientists. That, by the way, many also American doctors that mysteriously died the last couple of years, they were working on it. You know what type of plans that you can hear them from their voices. I mean, people like Bill Gates, people like, Turner, Joe Turner, whatever is his name, Mr. CNN, former CNN, the billionaire, and all these other people, they've been saying they want to reduce the population. They need to cull us down like the gods they are. And they will use every type of mean. And the vaccine is one of them. So my point is, I'm here as an humble voice, sometimes a little feeling overwhelmed. At the same time, I still try to reach out. And I'm trying to reach now, especially to people that normally they say, I don't care about politics. I just want to live my life. And I listen. I don't care about politics either. I don't call this politics. When somebody is trying to force a poison into your body or into your sons and daughters without your consent, called vaccines. When somebody is somehow using your tax dollar, your name for illegal wars around the world, when somebody is trying to feed you with genetically modified food against your consent or even knowledge and many other things, when somebody is trying to infringe on your basic human rights, like a freedom of speech or the right to keep and bear arms, I wouldn't consider that politics. That's the way you live or die. That's the way you will be considered a human with some respect and dignity, or you will be completely allow yourself to become a serf. So that's my message today. People that normally don't care. Oh, I listen to music to distract me. That's great. I listen to music to distract me too. When I'm in the car, I like to distract myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here 24/7, pounding on these topics. Otherwise I would die. But at the same time, we cannot allow to let ourselves into this sort of limbo, in this sort of this, I don't know how you want to call it, zone that we don't care. Because if we don't care, no matter what we don't care, they will care. We need to be caring. Because this evil will flourish when good people do nothing. That's the reality I'm trying to say here. So, I'm very concerned. And that's why I'm here. I'm not left, I'm not right. I'm myself. You know very well, you know me now. I have no allegiance but to the truth. And of course, I took an oath to defend this republic against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That's what, for me, my political party, if you really want to mean it. It's about freedom. It's about U.S. Constitution. It's about also understanding that my fellow human, I don't care where you're from, you have some basic human rights, and among those, life. But at the same time, I truly believe that we're supposed to be free, sovereign nations. We are not one world government. That's a fact. And I respect the sovereignty of every other nation, because I respect our sovereignty. I cherish our American sovereignty. Many things I've been praising President Trump when good is being done, and also I've been criticizing him when things, according to the beliefs, and more important to the oath of the Constitution that we took, and I took, I've been done wrong. But right now I look at him, maybe, even with his faults, even with his things that truly is not a constitutionalist, we understand that, I still think now he's fighting for your life, maybe. This impeachment, all these attacks is going further, and more important now, is exposing things that we never had a chance to be aware of. The emails, the FBI corruption, and now, of course, the latest one. Vice President Joe Biden, his son Hunter Biden, all these scandals with Ukraine, with China. And now Pelosi's son. Look at this, and Romney. So I don't know, truly, honestly, as much it may be not perfect or far perfect, one thing good we must owe him. Now we know for sure all the things that we were guessing or conspiring, or at least, we knew about conspiracy theories, the corruption, this deep government, this deep state, whatever you want to call it. It's real. It's laughing at us. We have people like Hillary Clinton still running, not from justice. They should run to an helicopter and leave the country. No, she's running for office again. She's on TV laughing after all the evidence we have. And so the FBI Mueller and the FBI Comey and all these other FBI leeches, upper elements, the management, they've been exposed and found conspiring and breaking laws. They're still laughing at us. Think about it. My only point now is, now that we know, what are we going to do? What can we do? That's the question. And the answer is simple, my humble opinion. First of all, you must give a damn. Because if you know all these things, you know that now your country, our country, is being taken over by a bunch of parasitic globalists with the only goal is to fill their pockets and wallets. And more important, at the same time, that's just for the first layer of management. The real deep management is to enslave us, destroy this republic, destroy the rights. It could be make a part of this global prison planet, this global, new plantation where all the serfs are going to work under one global government. That's the real final plan. That's why I think Trump, as much as he's not a constitutionalist, and he did some bad things, my humble opinion, according to facts. The fact that still he goes down to the United Nations and he proclaims sovereignty and he used the word patriots and he used the word globalist in a negative way. And he's tried, don't get me wrong, he cannot do everything. Congress, he had a chance when the Republicans were at the Elms to build a freaking wall. Of course, we know many traitors among both parties. Democrats probably 99.9%, but of course the Republicans, don't get me wrong, they are pretty much 50-50, if no more. So the reality, this is serious. It's the last ditch we have. And that's why I'm still holding. I may be coming to a point, maybe next few months, I may not have a chance anymore to be on the show. Many new things can happen. All I can tell you, I may feel just frustrated and tired. Say, I gotta mind my business. I gotta mind my life. All I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to cry. I'm not asking for anything. I just say, understand the frustration. Understand that this is a big struggle. Sometimes you can get tired. No, I'm not tired to fight it because I always fight it. Sometimes I'm just tired to repeat the same things, over and over every Sunday. That's the bottom line. So I just hope a little bit of, a little bit of hope. That's what I hope. It's kind of double sense. But let me get through some news because this is something that's happening. And honestly, one of the reasons why I don't want to go away yet, because I see my oath to defend this republic. It is not just with a rifle, but also especially in trying to wake up other fellow Americans and people around the world. Because if we save America, we save the world. I truly believe that. We are all interconnected in this fight against the New World Order. So I'm here, tired. Honestly, Sunday today. I'm a little late with my show. I'm recording it, by the way. I would like to go to the range. I would like to do other things, work on my Krav Maga, work on my books. And I say, am I doing the right thing today? I don't know. I'm just saying, though, that I'm here. And I hope that you, listener, you're not just there listening and, if you want to criticize me, that's fine. I don't care, honestly. I don't need to agree with everybody. Honestly, sometimes I hope I'm wrong. When I say all these things, I hope somebody say, Luca, you're completely out of your mind. You're wrong. And I'd be happy to be wrong because the things I'm talking here, they're so scary that I always pray to be wrong. Okay? I mean, human trafficking, another thing really I can't stop, especially when it comes down to child pornography, trafficking, and there is much more. We have evidence. But now, the new situation that we have, it's all coming from different angles. So let me just take a quick break, and let me tell you, we're going to go through some news. All I can say that whatever God or gods you believe, this time you start to find the strength and pray for your beliefs, because our body maybe get tired, and what we're facing here is beyond. a regular struggle. This is a struggle for humanity. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away. A lot of news. Be ready. Be prepared. You're listening on K-Talks 1340 AM and also on 104.1 FM. Do not go away.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we are back. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Well, you can hear my voice again, back and forth. I was feeling better. I don't know, maybe I'm dying, probably. Something's bad with me. A virus, probably. Maybe sprayed by this official government declare now, after, 20 years now. This year they say it's official. Chemicals in the sky called chemtrails or geoengineering. We have no idea what they're spraying us, guys. And if some of you still laugh, think, that's okay. You can laugh all you want. But especially here in Mojave County, I wouldn't laugh so much. I wouldn't, kiss so much the ass of your master government, because remember what happened 50, 60 years ago with the downwinders, when they're all dead pretty much now with cancer and tumors, because government did not disclose they were nuking the crap out of north of us, and the wind was bringing down radioactive stuff. I mean, how many times governments in general, or even the U.S. government specifically, has been proven to lie, to test on unwilling and annoying civilians? There are so many declassified documents. I read many times. I have no time. But the reality now is not even more a secret. Chemtrails, geoengineering is real. Weather modification is real. And even if they do it with the right intention, because they want to stop global warming, other fraud. But beside that, think about it. Even if you believe global warming is real, we should be having a little bit of saying before we breathe, or we are forced to breathe, whatever garbage they're spraying from these airplanes. This stuff, it can be chemical for sure, can be, of course, also organic, like bacteriological and viral, okay? And we have a lot of evidence for sure just about a couple of elements, or 3 elements, like, for example, silver iodide, and then we have, of course, aluminum, and salts of barium, that are really toxic for our health, destroy our immune system. So this is just a little taste. So I'm a pretty healthy guy. I don't do anything. My health normally is great, but some days I realize when they're spraying a lot, I get sick. Like I've been sick many years since I've been spraying. So I don't know. This is part of our, people say, do you believe in hell? Yeah, I don't believe in hell that Christianity believe. When you die, I believe this is already hell. Some days, yes. Government can be in hell. Because at the end, the function of government should have been what? To defend our rights. Unfortunately, I see and I start to learn that governments in centuries, they've been used by an elite to enslave us, by slaughtering us, by controlling us. This elite may be not powerful enough as manpower, since it's a limited number, to come out and tell us what to do. But once you control, the management, you can control the rest of the farm, right, or the factory. That's what they do. You buy out or brainwash or blackmail the different governments, and the agenda is being perpetrated. And one of the agenda now, of course, is to destroy humanity. We are too many. We breed too much, and we are useless anyway. So guess what? Like calling the animals. That's what they're trying to do to us. Meanwhile, talking about all this history is repeating itself. We see many times in history what tyrants, what tyrannical, totalitarian regimes do, no matter what, if you are left or right, it's still the same. Every time you have something like communism or fascism or socialism, there is one thing in common: the destruction of the individual. Individual as individual rights. That's it. So right now, of course, just to give you an idea, Facebook is continuing the same type of modus operandi of what Nazi or communists used to do when they used to, burn the books of the opposition. Or during the Pope, when you do not believe what the Pope says, they burn your books. Facebook just deleted President Donald Trump is our president Facebook fan page with 3,270,000 fans. I'm not a President Trump groupie. I give him credit when credit is due, and I tell you, but the point is, I don't think we should delete any fan page, especially when there is no violence. This is not about violence. This is about political ideas. So, more they do that, the more probably I'm going to support President Trump. Seriously. That's the point. Now, let's go through a little bit of news. The Pope in Italy, Pope Francis, by the way, in Italy I couldn't say that. The Pope is an ass. The Pope is a jackass. The Pope is a communist puppet of the New World Order, and he can kiss my ass. If you're a Catholic out there, you don't like what I'm saying, I could not care less. Seriously. I truly believe that all popes during history, they've been a fraud to control humanity. But remember, I was born Catholic. It's not like you're talking to somebody that is an atheist or whatever. I got my beliefs that none of your business, but regardless, I'm telling you, I went through Catholicism from the birth. I know what to mean to be a Catholic, because I was born in the most Catholic freaking town of the world, Rome. Okay? But thank God, I was aware since I was a child. I never understood this idea. Why should I bow down? Why should I say, oh, you are my speaker for my God on earth? You're just a freaking man. You may be a decent man, you may be a scumbag man, you may be, but you're a man. You may be a senior man, I respect you for that. I always said that when I was 9 years old and I was doing catechism, I got slapped by a nun because I didn't like the idea that I was supposed to bow down in front of the Pope. Guess what? That was a pope. Now we have even a worse pope. There are popes and popes, don't get me wrong. I think they're all pretty bad because technically they all come out as kings because that's what it is. It's a theocratic system. He's also a king of their empire. Even now it's small. The Vatican City is small. It used to be an empire. So they're still king. I recognize no kings, no queens. I bow down to no man or woman. Period. Now, on top, this individual, called Pope Francis, is a real jackass. It's a communist, Jesuit, jackass, working for the New World Order. It's pure evil. That's my humble opinion. If I were in Italy right now, I would have probably knocking down at my door the Carabinieri or the Italian Secret Services. Probably they would question me. But I would for sure be sued, and technically I could also go to jail. Let me tell you this. Like when I say the Italian president is an ass, and I can, I'm trying to be polite for the FCC. By the way, did I tell you, you have a hole in your pants? Ass? Now you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, my point is, yes, just because I insult that communist piece of garbage, corrupted ass, you have a hole in your pants, of the Italian president, according to the Italian law, I could spend 5 years in jail. Ask me if I miss Italy. Ask me. Do you miss Italy? Jack, no. Okay? Probably doesn't mean anything, Jack, no. But you know what I mean? I could not use other words on the air. But you know what I mean. No, I don't miss Italy at all. I don't miss Europe at all. I'm happy where I am. Mojave County, Arizona. And I would like to keep it like that. I would like to have my sons one day, they still have the right to get up in the morning, put their pants on, stand up as free human beings, have their holster, have their guns, and walk free and peaceful in the street, having some basic human rights. Among those, freedom of speech. Among those, the right to keep and bear arms without government interference. Among those, being protected in their possessions, in their privacy. Among those, they don't have to answer to anybody. Okay? That's the bottom line. Mind their business and live free and be prosperous. That's what I would like to have. So the Pope is an ass. What is saying this ass? That le persone di razza, I mean this is from the Italian newspaper, the people of different races, must blend in, must, how do you say, get together and make new Medici sons, hybrid sons. Listen, I don't care. If you're a black man or woman, you like to have sex and make children, that's beautiful. I couldn't care less. It's your business. I'm not here as a person that say, oh no, you cannot have interracial relationship. No way. That's your right as a free human being to love whoever you want. If love is free, means it's reciprocal, that's your right. I don't care. I have friends black, I have friends white, I have friends between, could not care less. But when there is a plan, a very dark plan, black to the Kalergi plan, I talked about that many times. The globalists have envisioned a new world order where the population from the third world countries like Africa, the rest of the world, they must blend in with the European for the destruction of sovereignty, heritage, and of course also nationality and also a cultural background. At that point, you're going to be nothing. So they want pretty much all slaves. If one day, 1,000 years from now, it's going to be a new species that we're going to somehow blend in a new color, green, brown, I don't care. History did this course. But no, they are making it by design. They are destroying. That's why they're opening the gates, the flood of Europe to Africa, to all these countries, because they need to destroy the national sovereignty, not just politically, but also in heritage, culturally. Okay, that's the point. And the Pope is instrumental part. That's why I said, the Pope, you can kiss my ass. I can't stand you. You and all the cardinals, parasite, pedophiles around you. And by the way, just because I said that, because it's true, many cardinals, I don't say all, because maybe there is somebody that is not, but they are pedophiles too. So, that's the bottom line. Now, let's go back to our more news. That was for the Pope. Now, this is what we are facing. This is what I really am scared here. It is not the Chinese troops coming. By the way, they may come. It is about stupidity. It is about ignorance. It is about the brainwashing of our youth. We don't need the troops coming from another country. We have our own sellout traders. They will pray and praise tyranny in America.
Which
Listen.
branch of the military uses AR-15s?
I didn't say that the branch of the military used AR-15s. I said they were weapons of war.
What war did we use them in?
Again, they're just weapons of war.
These people can
Have you
vote.
guys been following the Democrats with the Democratic debate? Mm-hmm. Kamala Harris?
I think she's got a bright future.
Okay.
I'd like to have her. Realistically, I'd like to see some real concrete answers out of her.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything concrete, but I think she has a bright future.
So something that is
What does that mean,
concrete
bright
is that
future?
she would like to ban AR-15s with the use of an executive action. If Congress didn't pass any type of gun control to do so within the first 100 days of her taking office. Is that something you would support?
Yeah, absolutely, I'd support that.
Why?
Because those are weapons of war, and unless we're trying to overthrow our government, we don't need them.
So which branch of the military uses AR-15s?
I didn't say that the branch of the military used AR-15s. I said they were weapons of war.
What war did we use them in?
Again, they're just weapons of war.
What is a weapon of war? What do you put in that category? How do you name that category?
Well, any kind of weapon that you can use that you don't need to specifically, realistically reload every 6 rounds. Something that you can do mass destruction with. That honestly, like an AR-15, where you can do mass damage in schools and mass damage to people in any other kind of war.
Can you not do that with, let's say, a handgun, a Glock, a 1911?
You can do any kind of damage with 6 rounds. That's why you only need 6 rounds. Why do you need?
So we only need 6 rounds.
I didn't say we only needed 6
Okay.
rounds. That's not what I said. You're putting words in my mouth.
Well, that's why I was asking. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. That's why I clarified with you. I'm not saying this guy said this. I'm clarifying, so we're not fake news here.
I didn't say that.
Do you think that there should be only 6 rounds, or what's the limit for you?
I didn't say anything about a limit. All I'm saying is that,
Yeah.
specifically, because we don't necessarily need anything more than 6 rounds for for personal use. If you want to go hunting, go hunting.
Okay.
But, for weapons of war, like an AR-15 or, anything bigger than that, specifically speaking, I don't think you need anything like that for sport.
Okay, what about self-defense?
I mean, don't you think one would do it?
One round?
Bullet? Yeah, don't you think one round would do it?
For self-defense?
Yeah.
You better be a good shot.
Well, okay.
You better be a damn good shot for only one bullet and a gun.
I mean, is more than one person going to rob your house?
Absolutely. That tends to happen, yeah. Getting mugged by gangs even, walking around downtown Cleveland. It's not a very safe area. I would want several rounds in my firearm.
You think more than one person is going to mug you at any given time?
I think that is a possibility, yes.
Well, so is lightning striking right now, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Okay. But we should be prepared. I mean, do you have a fire extinguisher in your home?
Of course.
The likelihood of you causing a fire is very low, isn't it?
Not necessarily.
Okay. But why would you have that? It's not likely that you're going to catch your... Do you know how to use an oven?
Equating trying to put out a fire in my house to somebody breaking in my house and me shooting them is not the same. That's getting too
I think the policy, the premise is the same, is that you don't want more than one round in a bullet in a firearm because you don't think the likelihood of more than one person robbing me is it's not there. You only need one. So what happens when I shoot someone that's trying to me and it misses, and I only had that one chance to prevent myself from being or killed by somebody that is stronger than me, is bigger than me, he's about to hurt me. I only have one round. What if I miss? Am I just out of luck?
You're adding 2 + 2 and getting potato. They're two completely separate issues. Banning AR-15s,
okay,
although not necessarily the right answer,
okay,
it's the idea that we don't necessarily need access for everybody to have those things.
Well, we don't have that currently. Not everybody has access to that by the federal government, by state governments. Black market, yes, because gun control has shown not to work. So people do have access to that shouldn't. Do you?
All right, I'm already bored, seriously. If I didn't have a good heart and my blood pressure is pretty safe, I would explode right now. I mean, this idiocracy, this stupidity, this also little coward, chicken neck, disgusting, I don't know which words I can find without cussing on the air. This chicken neck coward hiding behind the ballot box that is trying to come and destroy and rape me of our rights. It's beyond disgusting. I'm not for violence, but for God's sake, this is the time somebody's better stay 21 feet away from me, people like that. Don't breathe close to my face because I'm going to really exercise my right, first of all, to yell at you. This coward little chicken neck with his girlfriend, by the way, she's there like a little mommy, passive little, I don't know what she is, little chunk of meat, useless meat. Forget about the right to defend myself against the muggers. I mean, this young lady, she's nice. I like her. What's her name? Liberty Hangout. She's good. But we missed the point. The point is, I have rights, you scumbag. You like them or not. This is not about hunting. This is not about, defending myself against criminals. Don't tell me how many rounds I can have. I have the right. That not even the Constitution gave me. The Constitution, Bill of Rights didn't give me any rights. It just reminds to the government that we have rights. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period. God damn it. Seriously. These are the people that I fear the most. These leeches, these scumbags, this little wannabe communist Mao Zedong, that they are fat and white like a little full bag of rodent, blue tofu. That's what they are. Little soy burger. That's what you are. You piece of trash. We're going to have a civil war, I'm telling you. But it's not going to end up right. Because people like you're going to be on the street. You better have the government on your side. Because you cannot even find your shoes. You cannot even tie your shoes. And don't tell me how many rounds I can have, how many guns I can have. Or you tell me if I can have the right to keep and bear arms. Our founding fathers fought and died just to be sure that we don't have leeches on us like you. Okay? That's the bottom line. So I'm sorry I'm losing a little bit of my temper. Normally I'm kind of more calm and I'm trying to laugh. But when I see these things, forget about the Chinese troops coming. We already have them here. By the way, did you hear the news that we have Chinese flags, being waved being waved in American cities. Look, multiple U.S. cities raise Chinese flag. Think about it. A government, Mao Zedong, they're celebrating the 70 years old of the China, birth, the most devastating, the human life, killing, I think 60, 70 million people at least, according to official statistic, they were murdered under the communist regime in China. The most oppressive government probably in the world. Forget about Hitler. And guess what? We are celebrating it is not like your personal celebration if you're like a Chinese national. By the way, if you're a Chinese national and you live in America and you're in America, guess what? You should be ashamed of yourself if you raise the Chinese flag. That flag means blood. That flag means torture. That flag means oppression. The flag means famine. That means completely tyranny. Okay? You should be ashamed, especially when you are an official, I hate the word official, a public servant from any city or municipality, county, I don't care which one, and you raise a foreign government flag, especially an oppressive flag like that. San Francisco, Boston, Philadelphia, 3 cities in 3 different states, all of them raised the Chinese flag around October 1st, which, as we are well aware, is the 7th anniversary of China's turn to communism. Think about it. San Francisco, Boston, Philadelphia. Do I need to say more? Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on the citizens of these 3 cities that they are now rioting really in front of your offices and pulling you out by the ears out of your fat chair, you bunch of parasitic, complete traitors. We don't need to have Chinese here because they're already here. Okay? That's where we are. Let me take a break. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. And if you want to support the show, I tell you, first of all, support K-Talks. It's the only commercial radio station that let me say whatever I say here. I can't believe it. I still don't believe it. 6 years. And also, of course, support my efforts, because sometimes I get so tired, I don't care about the money, but I tell you, show me that you love a little bit. Because what I do here is beyond the money. Maybe just buy me a coffee. I'll be happy. If you want to buy me a coffee, that's the way you can do it. Go to www.zanna.us. Of course, you can buy Zanna coffee, but also if you want, you can just download any of my songs or my books. You can find my songs on Amazon.com and everywhere, but directly on Zanna.us. 99 cents. I appreciate your help. Don't be cheap. Life is short.
Are you ready to get lost in lust? Immerse yourself in a thunderstorm of emotions and passion. Order John luca-zanna's new book, Perfectly Crazy, 69 erotic visions and love poems with forbidden erotic Italian phrases. Perfectly Crazy by John luca-zanna. Available all over the world at Amazon.com and www.zanna.us.
Here we are back. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM and also 104.1 FM. Very serious information from different angles. You know very well California is going down in complete darkness. It didn't happen by accident. It was an act of God. It was just a result of complete nihilistic, utopistic, I said nightmarish, stupid, completely nonsense policy that they are behind the agenda or the political beliefs of what we call Democratic Party, in this case left, or call them communist, progressive, whatever you want to call them. Sorry guys, your system doesn't work, sucks. California is now a third world country. You got it all. $5-6 a gallon for gasoline. You can at that point, no even going property taxes. You cannot afford unless you're a millionaire. You have homeless sleeping next to multi-million-dollar homes, crime going crazy, gangs infested, diseases everywhere. You got now bubonic plague in Los Angeles, many other parts. Insanity. And more important, also, you are broke. Completely out of money, because there is no way you can even milk anymore the cows. Business left. People, individuals leaving, fleeing your complete results of disastrous policies. The problem that is California is not just California. I would say, okay, that's your, if you like to do that, kill yourself and make it easier and spare us. The problem that this disease is contagious, is crossing the borders. Many people who voted for all this garbage, for all this nonsense, now they realize that they cannot afford it anymore. And they pack their little, electric cars, or whatever they have, and they pack their soy, burgers, and they move and start to emigrate like a bunch of locusts going to other states. Among those, Arizona. That's what I fear the most. Listen, don't get me wrong, I was in California. When I left Italy, I spent my first 7 years in America in California. But it didn't take me much to understand that this was exactly the same reason. California was the same type of environment that Italy I left. And I say, wow, get me out of here. Okay? So, not every California is bad. I have a lot of great friends in California. The problem is that who's living is not just the good people, but also the bad people are living. And these people, they're bringing with them all their messed up mind. That's the problem. So I'm saying, please, if you want to come, you're more than welcome to leave that devastation behind you. But don't bring your messed up, liberal, crazy-ass ideas. Okay? Because the locusts, you know what they do, locusts? They go in a field, eat everything, then they move to the next field. Okay? We are running out of states here. There's not much left. Especially in Arizona, we are only 2 seats away to become part of this new, become back to the nightmarish that we left. Because guess what? 2 seats away in the House in Phoenix, Arizona, and we become another freaking liberal state. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say more? That's all I can say. So, meanwhile, always in California, the Governor Newsom signs 15 anti-gun bills into law. Why do you even bother to worry about that? You can't even have guns anymore. I mean, they make it so difficult between the city and county and, of course, the state laws that, I don't know, you better just forget about it. It's not a right. You know that. In California, to have a gun is not a right. It is mere a privilege. Okay? And don't get me going. I'm just telling about owning a gun. Then if you have to use it, just forget about it. So anyway, there are a bunch of new laws, pretty much that they become the first state in the nation to completely deprive you of due process. Red flag laws on steroids. Let's say your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't like you. All they need to say, call the cops. Hey, he's dangerous or she's dangerous. She has guns, and bang, you got a SWAT team coming at your door. No due process. You're now guilty until proven innocent. Simple as that, and more. So, what can I say? Now, I'm talking to my friends in California. I know you have families. I know you have probably houses, homes upside down. I know you have pension, retirement, all these things. You work so hard. But you know what? Meanwhile, your life is slipping away. Meanwhile, you're living every day frustrated, mad probably, nuts, because I would go nuts. Not happy. Why are you still there? What does it really take you now to leave? Now, don't get me going. It's going to get worse. Forget about the gun laws. Forget about the taxes. Forget about the illegal aliens, laughing at you and getting free stuff and probably, raping your dog while, can even be arrested. Forget about all these terrible things. Pollution, crimes, fishes on the street, syringes everywhere. Meanwhile, you become a criminal if you have a plastic bag, of course. But the problem is, They're going to start now to really force you to put poisons in your body. That's the reality. And now at the same time, this is the part of the plan. They will start to test the water, how much can they get rid of you in mass stage events. This situation of blackout in Northern California for several days, and nothing was done. And so what? People died, and so what? You're still there, and shut up. You realize that is a dry run. The next time it's going to be an earthquake, they will have more excuses. You stay 3-4 days without electricity, you have no more gasoline in your car. Because after all, without electricity, you cannot pump the gas. You cannot even pump the water. You have no water. You cannot do anything. You cannot even shop. Think about the mayhem, the type of anarchy, the type of complete Mad Max scenario that you will have. That's how they're going to completely start to test the water for mass extermination. Then, of course, there's going to be a crisis. Then, of course, you're going to have diseases. Then you're going to have forced vaccinations. Forced vaccinations. Now we know, I don't want to repeat myself every time, what type of garbage and poison they put in these vaccines. Like we have now the proof, again, this human genome full of cancer, among the other things, that is like a time bomb in these different vaccines. Why they are giving free vaccines? Why they are forcing vaccines? Because the vaccine is part of the global agenda, implemented at state, federal, and local levels. Because all these people, they believe in this cult. The cult that just the elite is allowed to live. Okay? So my point is, they will use vaccine as a bioweapon. When the next crisis happens, they will force it not just on your children, but the way you already have forced on your children. Shame on you if you allow your children to stay in that state, in their schools. Okay? But the point is now, you're already submitting yourself to go to the gas chambers. All right? So that's the reality. I'm very concerned. At the same time, what can I tell you? You do what you want. I pray for our brothers and sisters from California or other states like Oregon, for example. It's time to pack. Pack, leave the state, and get your productivity, get your assets with you, get your brain, get your will to fight back. Let's unite in states like Arizona, and let's get rid of this garbage called liberalism. Let's get rid of it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not Republican. I'm not you're talking about as a Republican. I'm no party. My only party is freedom. My only party is I have rights. You have rights. And these rights, if you really want to curious to find them out, read the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution. Keep it simple. Okay? All I care that we can speak a language in common, in this case is English, and we have these rights. And I don't care where you're from, if you believe in this, I consider you brothers and sisters. Only thing I say, if you're here, you better follow the same process I follow, and millions of people like me follow before me. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So, California vaccination mandate. Nice article on the New American. You can find it. California vaccination mandate. They mandate to everybody. And pretty soon they're going to mandate to also adults. And what you're going to do when they say you have to get the vaccines or you cannot work? Or maybe we can fine you. Or maybe they come to your home and just freaking shoot you in the face. Guess what? You're a danger to society. Oh, you must be one of these gun owners. We'll send a SWAT team before even we talk to you. Now, talking about guns, we have a nice CCW class at Against All Enemies. Saturday, let's see which day is. October the 19th. Next week, next Saturday. It's a great class. I will personally teach it. And Patrick, Against All Enemies, is a great guy. We have a great prize. 5-hour class, probably the most intensive class you can find in the industry for the best price. Against All Enemies in Lake Havasu. Patrick, look for him on Facebook. Against All Enemies for the next Saturday, October the 19th, CCW class. Now, talking about a little bit local things. This is Mojave County, Arizona. there was an article in the Kingman Daily Miner that Mojave County voted 5 votes, 4 in favor and 1 against, to have a new communication director for Mojave County, a position for $80,000 a year. Let me say again, $80,000 a year for a communication director for his freaking one of the poorest county in the world, or at least in America, or at least in Arizona. Okay, we're not exactly Beverly Hills here, okay? But we have a position for somebody in this local government, can get up in the morning, go there, put his ass on a chair, start to make some press releases, answer to some phone calls if he likes, drinking a coffee, on us of course, for $80,000 a year. First of all, what is the need of this position? I mean, you can get a student out of college with maybe master in communication for 1 year and give him half of the money. It would be happy. They would be, oh my gosh, very pleased. $80,000 a year, it's a lot of money. Not only is it a lot of money, think about all the compensation and insurances and stuff, benefits. If you find any type of package like that, comparing to the private sector, that's not even, it's probably 3 times more. And the sad thing is, this county, they're supposed to be a Republican county, a conservative county. They are spending money like drunken sailors. And I know already the names, people that pretty much I'm disgusted with. I don't need to remind you. Jim Bishop, Supervisor Watson, they're good old boys, okay? Nothing about being conservative. They just spend money like socialists. But 2 people that I'm really disappointed because I had faith. One is Supervisor Ron Gould. I consider also a really good guy, At least the way he votes. I'm not talking about personally. I'm not here to be friends. He's a politician that always been behind these promises to have a small government. He voted for this. Same story with Hill, the angel, supposed to be a conservative. He voted for this. And no, I'm not surprised why we have to raise property taxes now. This is just a little bit of a hint. If they can spend $80,000 for a useless position like, communication director in Mojave County, imagine how much money more they waste. Meanwhile, we have to go pay now our property taxes. Isn't it nice? Huh? And by the way, our tax for the first home increase because, because they say so. Even we have money in our, we are okay, we are in positive, they still need to have more money. That's the reality of government. It's never enough. So, you wonder why I'm here. To be a pain in the arse, that's why I'm here. To be sure that this voice doesn't shut up. To be sure that we don't have just complete a bunch of zombies. Yes, sir. I'm here because I believe that till there is life, there is hope. And the only way we can somehow have right now, at least, is our strength and desire to stand up, to denounce when we see wrong things, and do not be afraid. I don't care if it's global issues like child, kidnapping and child pornography, or all these terrible things that they're doing, human trafficking, illegal wars, or just our irresponsible, fiscal responsible government in our counties. It's our duty to expose them. It's our duty to speak up. That's what I'm saying. I'm not perfect. I'm not a saint. I never said I was. All I'm saying, though, I'm not afraid to speak up my mind. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. But if I'm right, I yell at you. That's the point. You'll be listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM. I hope again to hear from you next Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. I may have some guests next Sunday if I'm around. And don't forget, if you want to support the show, go to www.zanna.us, ZANNA.us. Also, if you are in Mojave County, come and visit me at Kingman Force on Force in Mojave County, exactly Kingman, Arizona, 3001 Stockton Hill Road, where self-defense is a human right. www.kingmanforceonforce.com. You can learn Krav Maga, empty hands, edge weapons, rifle, shotgun, handguns, everything. More important, you will learn how not to be a slave. Because slaves are never armed, and we are not slaves. That's the point, unless you want to be one. Now, for all the friends in other parts of the world, I pray for you for victory. Wherever you are, stand up for your rights. And I wish you a great 1776 moment, especially if you are still under tyrannical governments.
1, 2, 3,